Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It's Megan again. Today I want to tell you the best kept secret from this Southern girl, and it is Orange Beach, Alabama. And it's a best kept secret because I've lived in South Louisiana my whole life, and only, I'm not going to age myself, a couple years ago did I realize what a nice beach Orange Beach was. So we're going to give you a glimpse into Orange Beach, and we did go twice just so we could do a compare and contrast of different times. So stick around, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and let me know if there's anything else that you want to see. Let's jump right in. The two weekends that we went were the weekend after July the 4th and a random weekend in mid-August. We stayed at a resort called the Caribe, and it has won an award for the best condominium resort according to the Baldwin Awards. On each of our trips, we stayed in a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and we did not book the same room. You can choose to stay in the same room over and over again, but we changed it up just to get insight into different rooms because the rooms are not standard. They're decorated according to how those owners want to decorate them. And from my understanding, I could be wrong about this, the resort itself actually rents out, like manages this condo, but there's tons of them in Orange Beach. The Phoenix is another really popular one and they have a bunch, but the Caribe is the one that we chose to stay at. And they're also building one on the ocean front because the Caribe is on the bay side. No matter which room you get, you will be able to either see the ocean, you just have to look past the road, or you'll have a bay view because the resort does sit directly on the bay, which if you own a boat or you're doing anything like that with a personal boat, then that's perfect. But the price difference, holy smokes. When we stayed the weekend of July the 4th, it was literally 3 times the amount. So these rooms are nice, and it's got a huge soak-in tub and a nice shower and plenty of space in the living room and a full-size kitchen, and all of that's so nice. But would I go again the weekend after July 4th, or I'm sure any major holidays? Probably not. So just keep that in mind if you decide to check out Orange Beach, that maybe it's worth it to go 2 weekends after July 4th or mid-August like we did, because it is beautiful no matter when you go. To fill you in on some more amenities that this amazing resort had, I'm gonna step aside and let the boys tell you.
I like the ice maker at the Caribe. I like it because you just reach in there and you're just like, I just want a handful of ice to shove in my mouth. And you're just like, go. You can just like, whenever you need some ice, just get a cup and then just scoop some out. It's so convenient. I also like the water slides. The water slides are a lot of fun just to go down over and over again. It never gets boring because of the wide variety of the ways you can go down it. There's also a variety of different slides. There's little baby ones, like one that goes down a frog or a poison dart frog and stuff like that. Or you can go down ones that are enclosed and twisting around. And no matter what slides you like, you'll find one you like here.
The water slides were very fun. There was 4 of them. There was 2 smaller ones that'd be suited for like a 6-year-old, and then there was one that's for like an 8-year-old. And then there was this other one, which I don't know how old you had to be, but one of them, there was a racing one, so it was 2 slides right next to each other, and you would do like a loop and then get thrown into a pool. And then there's one really big one, it's like 3 stories tall. That was really cool. And then there was a white one, which is like wide enough for like a small little like inflatable raft to go in between them. So that was really cool to go down the slide with that. The lazy river at the Caribe was on the top story, and it was like about the size of the building. There was like pool chairs on the side, and you would like go in like a kind of a figure 8, but like it doesn't meet in the middle. It was like decently big, and it was metal, so it was really nice to like jump off the bottom. It was like very smooth, meaning I had a lot of fun because we were able to like go really fast in it, or you could just like mosey along like a normal lazy river.
So at one of the pools, there's a ping pong table that I really like to play on. FYI, you do need your own paddles and ball. It's really fun because you can do competitive matches right after you get out of the pool or before. Or you can just do it by itself, and it's just a little competition that everyone likes.
In my honest opinion, there were many good things, but there were also some bad things, such as an elevator that wasn't working a lot of times. It would end up going to one floor and then opening and closing again and again and again, and that got really annoying. But when we went back the second time, it was fixed. The putt-putt course would have been like really fun, but there was mother didn't remember her driver's license, and you're not able to do it unless you turn in your driver's license to get the clubs. I don't know where it was, but whatever. We had to watch other people play.
We often venture out for our food. I know there's a full-size kitchen, but the last thing I want to do is cook on vacation. So we like the kitchen because we eat our leftovers in there. Or if the boys are starving, we'll bring pizza back and cook them up a pizza or something at an odd time. But on occasion, we were headed to the restaurant also on the Bayside, which is walkable, but we never walk it. We ran into a guy actually selling ski rental passes. And I don't think that either of the boys had ever been on a ski rental. So we decided, why not? And that was the weekend of July 4th. So it was kind of convenient to have somebody there actually taking your rentals and your times and helping you schedule out a part of another day. But when we went back in mid-August, the guy wasn't there. We actually had to go to the marina where we got onto the jet skis last time. So if you're wanting to go and you're going in an off season, you actually have to look it up or just go to the restaurant it's not attached to the Caribe, but it's right next door. If you go over there, you'll see like where they rent out all sorts of stuff. And while I would love the opportunity to tell you how the ski rentals went, I think the boys would do a better job.
The jet skis, I didn't really like them because it was kind of repetitive, just moving and going in circles. So I didn't like it, and there was also the fear of falling in because I saw tons of jellyfish and I heard there were sharks in there. And it's so loud and you're going so fast, you may not hear or feel the person going off. So it's just like the fear factor as well. I was with my dad for this section because he goes a good speed, but he doesn't go so fast that you're like jumping on the waves. So yeah, and whenever me and my mom got close together, my dad would speed up to splash them, and we got them really good one time and they got soaked. It was only fun during that little section.
I was on my mom's jet ski, and it was kind of fun, but there was like that risk because there was a ton of jellyfish in the water, so I knew if I fell in, I was probably going to get a shock. At one point, I almost fell in. My back hit like the side of it because the one who's laughing behind the camera right now decided to hit a sharp degree turn while going about 40 miles an hour and not thinking that I was going to fly off. So, and she's laughing at me right now. Overall, I had a lot of fun, though. It was kind of fun, in spite of my insuperior brother's opinions.
Something else that we did while we were in Orange Beach was visit the arcades. And if you haven't figured this out by now about our boys, you definitely will, but they're gamers. And so we always check out the local arcades or bumper carts or VR or whatever. So first things first is the arcade. And the July 4th visit, it was slammed. We were waiting in line for the boys to play games. We were waiting in line for bumper carts and putt-putt golf, and it was so busy. But when we went in mid-August, it was like a ghost town. The entire place was ours. We were able to jump on the bumper carts back to back. It was really just like a family race versus like us racing a bunch of strangers. It was a completely different experience. Here's the boys' thoughts.
We went to an arcade called Adventure Island. It wasn't just an arcade. There was tons of other things. There was putt-putt, which is better than the one at like the Caribe. It was longer and like way more intricate. Lasted us like an hour and a half. It was really fun. There was also go-karts, and I won all the time. There was a lot of arcade games probably about the size of like 2,000 square feet arcade area, and they were really fun. They ranged from like air hockey to deal or no deal. It was very fun, probably about 200 games.
Now, if you're going to Orange Beach and you want to have a whole day activity that doesn't require you being out in the direct sun or wet the whole day, OWA is another great opportunity. So we went there both times as well. It is a water park / themed park. I don't know how it stays in business because there's almost never anyone in lines. Even on the July 4th weekend, it was dead. On the theme park side of it, we don't do super big roller coaster rides, and they're further back, so I may not be giving a fair representation of those rides.
There was also this little ghost ride. It has decent graphics and like dark that little kids may be afraid of, so it was really fun though. You got to shoot little ghosts and other monsters with these little toy blasters, and it's really fun to compete against your friends and family.
But there's another section of OWA, and that is like an indoor water park, and they have a wave pool and like different slides, and that was a huge difference between the July 4th and the mid-August trip. So July 4th, again, it was almost miserable to be in the wave pool, and I know I sound some kind of way, and I like people, but like when I'm in a wave pool, especially when the big waves are coming, I don't want to constantly feel like I'm bumping into the person next to me, or I'm trying to like swim really hard and I can't just like enjoy being pushed around by the waves like I was able to do in August. And then same thing for the water slides. In July, we rode maybe 3 or 4 of the big water slides, and that was it because it was eating up so much time. It wasn't worth it. Where when we went back in mid-August, we were able just to like run up the steps as fast as we could and get right back on the water slide and run it up and do it again and get back on the water slide. I honestly really enjoyed OWA so much more in mid-August than I did in July. But here's the boys' view.
There was a really big lazy river, like 10-ish slides. Some were like straight shot down, and then some of them were more chilled and relaxed, like a racing one. The racing ones, you had to like carry like these big old pads. I beat her because I'm better. I lost every time.
The lazy river, and there were a bunch of other stuff like that that I really did enjoy just because of the freedom to do whatever you want. Also, there's a little splash pad where you're getting soaked because there's buckets that fall on your head and everything. Another thing I so enjoyed, I spent probably the most time there, was the wave pool. The wave pool was so much fun because it was just like you had to fight the waves, and you could become a little starfish at the bottom of the ocean to hide, or you could try and fight back against the waves.
But it was basically just a ton of pools and slides together, and it was pretty fun.
So another place that we took the boys was to Outer Limits, and this is a VR place. There's nothing to do for us adults, but honestly, it's in the middle of a shopping center with a whole bunch of other things to do and see around, and there's a decent Italian restaurant in there, a bunch of like smaller restaurants if you're not into that. But the boys loved this place so much on the first trip that we still went back and just like toughened it out for them. So I'm not going to review this place because I'm just going to say it was boring. But I know that's not what my boys think.
It was a virtual reality store, not a store, a shop experience type thing. And you would go in, get tickets, and each ticket would let you play a game. We played a racing game, 2 racing games, and then we played like a roller coaster ride. Now, those are really fun. I did beat Nate in the racing game one time. And then the people there were pretty nice.
I liked how you could do a lot of games. I mean, even though the section was limited, it's something all of them I really enjoyed because it's like one of them is where you're on VR, and then there's these like goofy zombies that you have to hit with that are throwing like, I forgot what they are. It was some kind of vegetable, probably like an eggplant or something. And there's also a racing that's multiplayer. You can do it with your friends, family. And there's different modes. One of them you have to work together. One of them you have to try to see who survives the longest. One of them you have to beat up a dragon with ballistic missiles.
But overall, it was pretty fun.
Don't worry, your girl is not going to leave you hanging. If you're doing all these activities, you clearly have to eat. So, here are the top restaurants. The first one is Cobalt's, and that is the one attached to the restaurant near the jet ski rentals as well. And this is your typical beachside, bayside restaurant. It has fish, it has your American food, lots of drink, beautiful seating inside and outside. And I do highly recommend this restaurant, especially if you're staying at the Caribe. But again, when we went on July 4th, we had tried eating there one night. It was so busy that we ended up eating somewhere else and just went back the next day at a random time, which is why we got lucky and caught the ski rental guy. But just know that if you're going to eat here and you're trying to go for dinner time, either be prepared for a long wait or get there early enough that you kind of miss the rush. Another restaurant is Cotton's. This is a steak restaurant. It is a little bit on the expensive side, but no more than like your average nice steak restaurant. Not like Outback, guys, but you know, think about like your local steak restaurant that's got a good reputation, and that's probably your price point there. And boy, do they have the best pina coladas. But the steaks are also delicious. If you're not looking for something so formal, or you just want more of a laid-back meal, there's a place called Steamers. And this restaurant has improved itself a whole lot because it used not to have anything other than steamed food, but we realized this year that that's not the case anymore. There are things that the kids will eat on the menu now. You can wear casual clothes, and again, it's got waterfront seating, so it's beautiful, but it's a little bit more laid back, a little bit more casual, and it's all the crabs and shrimps and all the steamed things you can think of that you'd want. And neither on the July 4th weekend or the mid-August weekend was it slammed where we had to wait. So I thought that was a plus. It's casual, it's delicious, and it's not overly busy. With dinner out the way, breakfast. There are several places that we've eaten, but there's only two that I can honestly say that I would recommend, and those are Brooks Spoon and Duck's Diner. Duck's Diner is delicious, and it's very much so a ma and pa place. So don't go in there thinking it's super fancy. You can wear your swimsuit with a cover and they're not going to bat an eye. Again, you have to be careful on the times that you go. If you call ahead, they'll let you know. Even in mid-August, they were really busy because this place is delicious and it's super affordable. Another place is Brooks Spoon. We did not get to eat there for July 4th. We tried to, but the line was so busy, and it was only like 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning. It was a 45-minute to an hour wait, and we were like, we're going to be hangry if we wait that long. So we didn't eat there that day. We did go back to it in mid-August, and they are known for their Bloody Marys more than anything. I'm not a Bloody Mary girl, but the food was really good. So I can't give an opinion on what they're actually known for. But this is more of like your standard restaurant. If you're not really into like the whole mom and pop thing, this would be the spot for you to go. Or if you are into the Bloody Marys, you could drop me a comment and let me know what you think about it. But almost everyone there was ordering these. And they even have a sheet that kind of is about this size. And you can check off all the things that you want to go into your Bloody Mary. But again, I have no opinion on that one.
Another restaurant Mom didn't talk about is a place where they throw rolls at you. But the rolls were delicious. Somebody comes by every once in a while, you raise your hand, and then they just throw a roll at you. They're so fresh, soft, warm. The rolls are complimentary. So you just raise your hand and they'll throw you some fresh baked rolls. Just make sure you'll catch it, or else you may get a pillow in your face. A very hard pillow, that is. And it wasn't very expensive, and it was just a good restaurant in general.
Now that I've told you about all the things that cost money, let's actually talk about the beach. And here's why I don't focus on the beach. I love the beach, but do you see how fair this skin of mine is? I can't stay out there all day like some people do. And honestly, my boys get bored out there all day and then they start whining and then everybody's miserable. But we do always take some time to go out there and we enjoy the water there. It is beautiful. The sand is pretty. It's not super rocky because I know you go to those beaches sometimes and it hurts to walk. This is not one of them. It's like silky sand. It's pretty colored sand and the water is very clear. That being said, when we went in mid-August, there were jellyfish in the water. So we didn't get to enjoy it the same way that we were able to enjoy it in July. But there were more people on the beach on the weekend after July 4th. I hope you enjoyed our video. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos to come. Thanks.